It has been many months since we've had ourselves just a fun scroll and stroll through the unimplemented feature section of the Don't Starve Together wiki here. Thing is though, within all our unimplemented features videos, we've also covered things from Shipwrecked, Hamlet, and Random Giants, and I'm thinking today is not gonna break that tradition. We've got wacky looking mobs, some potentially insane mechanics, and even a potential decoration here and there to cover. And I don't know about you, but with all that in mind, I really do enjoy sitting down and just asking the question, what if? For example, what if instead of just nightmares, we had brightmares, everyone? Now, the file seemed to suggest that these were just unimplemented gestalts, but even still, my gosh, how terrifying are these things? And then I suppose the questions start coming into play like, what are these things, both in lore and gameplay purposes? To me, they look a hell of a lot more hostile than the gestalts we have in-game. And if we know anything about the moon, it likes to mutate stuff. So these were probably something before they became whatever the heck this is. And speaking of questioning whatever the heck things are, hello, whatever the heck this thing is. My golly, folks, okay. I think we saw the bits and pieces of this many months ago, but now we get to see it in action, and not only that, we get to see its full animations. Alright, and it seems to even have the animation of the feast clops? Interesting. So that tells me that Clay was thinking about this for quite some time. My guess, Gator here was gonna be a big bad. It even has like the deer clop shamble to it too, which is also very intriguing. Okay then, yeah, I think Clay was really thinking about implementing this guy many years ago. But as I said at the start, we're not just looking at OG Don't Starve or Don't Starve Together cut content here. I would also like to give a nod to the Quackettes. It's looking like the Quackin' boss fight was gonna have more than just 8 bajillion tentacles to deal with. And heck, people have been speculating that we were gonna get a Quackin' boss fight in Don't Starve Together soon. So it's entirely possible that these Quackettes might see the light of day. An unnamed slug mob, however, probably won't. But I gotta say, when Clay already has a ton of animations and part of the art done for something, you do start to question where their mind was going. Why are these things under what are clearly basic traps? Was there gonna be a chance that when we caught a mob with a trap, that a hostile slug was gonna be underneath it? It seems to me that this thing can move, as it has 3 different directions it's hopping into, which is honestly kinda terrifying. And would you believe it, it also looks like it can move like a slug as well. But I like this thing. I really do. I would not mind seeing it in some capacity. Perhaps not like traps, but maybe on a new island, if they're really going to be doing 3 new islands for 3 setting the stage updates. But since we've recently gotten powder monkeys and Don't Starve Together, I do not see spider monkeys coming anytime soon. Especially when these guys are probably just the first iterations of the great ape spider monkeys of Don't Starve Hamlet. But I gotta say, I like these guys more than the big guys. Yeah, I know, they look pretty darn similar, but not really, actually. I like the art of the small dudes over the big dudes. And obviously any work on Hamlet is long past, but seeing as how the big guys don't actually have a growth cycle or breeding mechanics, why couldn't they have just started like this and grown into that, if you know what I mean? But oh well, there's no need monkeying around with that thought any longer. And since I'm not really having any rhyme or reason to this video anyway, before we move on, I just want to toss in a couple honorable mentions when it comes to some concept art. Things that, obviously, were on the page, but perhaps never really got anything moving in-game. Like moss jellyfish and moss skitter squids that were almost a part of the waterlogged biome. As well as whatever the heck this thing is, called a lily monster and also planned for the waterlogged biome. Alright, interesting. Very interesting. But you know what might be the most out of left field and interesting thing I've seen here today myself? Ice tumbleweeds. Apparently, the winter was going to have a profound impact on these desert-based bouncing balls of fluff and loot. Moving on here, we've had talk of many potential biomes and their mods in some of these videos, but I'm not entirely sure if we've ever really seen the Tesla trees in action, folks. And these were going to be from an entirely different biome that housed vault goats before they put them in the Oasis deserts. Kind of neat looking. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Teeth mines for Don't Starve Shipwrecked. So you're using hound teeth as shrapnel in a bomb? Okay. We don't have many options for that, and usually they're just kind of gimmicky, like bee mines or mosquito mines from Adventure Mode. I would not mind an actual offensive version like this. But I suppose now's as good a time as any to start talking some of the food and drink that we'll never be able to eat or drink. And wow, it looks like there was quite the selection here, mostly from Don't Starve Shipwrecked. However, those first three are Lotus things. We actually did get Lotus in Don't Starve Hamlet. Looks like we got some sea cucumber right below it, some watercress to the right, and I'm not really sure what's above it or what it's supposed to be, but in the files, I guess they're called sea taros. But I want to direct your attention to the bottom row here. Apparently, at one point, we were going to be able to grow meat on the water. All right, then, Clay. All right. We also apparently got a bug Zapper Weapon, and I'm assuming this thing was just going to be dealing more damage to any insect-type mobs in the game. And you know, Dragonfly, Bee Queen, both insects. This could have been interesting. As if chopping wood wasn't already a tedious task with the potential of danger from fighting 3 separate tree guardians. Apparently almost wooden tentacle roots were about to slap us silly. Cool looking rock crabs were almost a thing, but I gotta say, these almost give me Gorge vibes. And if you've ever played the Gorge and gone towards Billy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I gotta say, these things actually look really, really cool. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, these also kind of remind me of our new Crust Stay Shines. But just like how we started our day with a Brightmare, I would like to actually end it with a new Nightmare. And yeah, I know, these were found in the Screecher files, which isn't exactly a Don't Starve game. But it is a full conversion mod of Don't Starve, so we should give it a nod itself. But this here is the Shambler, everyone. Could you flippin' imagine this thing? But as we really wrap up today, just some back-to-back honorable mentions in different categories. Of course, there's a lot of different unimplemented skins if you want to give a look, and I'm not just talking about items here. There's characters, which we've looked at before, so I'm not really going to be spending that much time on, but if you really, really do want to give a look, go for it. Portrait frames, skin sets, head skins, body skins, you name it. Go nuts. But before we begin to wrap up, folks, I just want to make 2 fun little comparisons here, especially after the most recent updates. Here's how cannonballs were first looking, and here are the very, very rudimentary cannons that were going to be firing said cannonballs. Oh yes, not exactly what we got in the Curse of Moonkey. And just some quick and small honorable mentions, folks. They had full art and animations for damaged Winona catapults, which honestly look really, really cool. We almost had the opportunity to slow down our inevitable death and gather around for a little barbecue, everyone. This is so weird. I wonder if this is how they thought cooking was supposed to be at first, or maybe the larger meals we're gonna have to have something like this in order to obviously cook and eat. There was apparently a time where Beefalo were allowed to vomit, and I gotta be honest, I don't really want to think about that any more than I have to. And we almost had the beautiful opportunity to witness Mama Moose laying her egg, and well, that looks incredibly painful. And you know what? It is. And there you have it, everyone. Yet another scroll and stroll through all the unimplemented features and cut content from Don't Starve Together, Don't Starve even, Shipwrecked, Hamlet, and more. I really have fun with these, so I hope you guys do too. I enjoyed just sitting down questioning what the heck Clay was thinking, wondering what these actually could have been, and potentially stretching the truth a little bit just for some exaggerated content. But all in all, I really do think it's cool to see where the game was and where it is now. Trust me, folks, this will not be the last time we do this. And I do these so infrequently because it's such a treat. But thanks for watching, well wishes to all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.